Hi, welcome to Sports Betting TV. Me and Ben are here to preview Stoke City against West Ham United. Big Premier League game, Saturday 3 o'clock. Ben, how do you see this game going? Stoke on a bad run of form. Do you see them getting out of this?
Stoke are on a bad run of form, like you said. I think Mark Hughes is in desperate need of a win here. There's no two ways about it. Stoke are lurking dangerously close to the drop zone. They've won just one of their last 7 matches. I know after their loss to Burnley during the week, Sean Dyche did say that Stoke were the better team in the first half, but I don't really see it with Stoke. They've kept just one clean sheet in their last 15 in the league. And over the last few weeks, Mark Hughes has tried to toy with different systems to try and break this trend, but I think it is an issue. They are struggling to get results. The Potters haven't kept a clean sheet at their 3-6-5 since the second game of the season, their opening home game, where they somehow beat Arsenal. And have conceded 2 or more goals in 5 of their last 7 at the bet 3-6-5. But again, they have got defensive issues. And if you couple that with the fact that they're without Bruno Martins Indy and Kurt Zouma, who went off in the week with an injury, that's 2 key defensive players. I think things do look quite bleak for Stoke.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think they want an absolutely horrendous run. They're lacking identity. I think Stoke, under Pulis, they had an identity. It wasn't the best of football, but you kind of knew where they were going. I think under Hughes, they evolved the game. The style of football was a lot better, and they were getting results for the most part. They were in the top 10. But I think now it's kind of changed. They've kind of lost a few key players. Like Arnautovic, you're coming up against his former club. Jonathan Walters. Shaqiri is their main player now, and they rely a lot on him. Big loss is Zuma, of course, for this game. That is a big worry for them. But I just think West Ham are playing better football, so I think it's going to be very tough for Stoke. They're just lacking identity. I think Hughes has reached his end at Stoke in reality. I think this is going to be a massive game for him to try and improve that form, because at the moment they're getting dragged down to the bottom 3. And Stoke fans are getting on the backs against Tottenham. Some of that defending was absolutely atrocious, and the fans really told the players after they had to get a police escort because they were so upset. So they're just struggling to score goals, leaking goals as well. That was an absolute killer, conceding a late goal away at Burnley, because a draw would have been a decent result. But the fact that they played all right and lost is a really, really big worry for them. On West Ham, how do you see? They've improved 4 points from 2 games where people didn't expect. What do you think about West Ham and Moyes' start to his reign at West Ham?
Yeah, I think David Moyes was subject to huge criticism when he got given the West Ham job. So I think it's only fair we give him some credit for West Ham's performances over the past few weeks. They obviously impressively frustrated Man City for long periods during their 2-1 loss at the Etihad. And they picked up 4 points in their last 2 games against Chelsea and Arsenal without conceding a goal too. And if you think back to the start of the month, just even 2 or 3 weeks ago, that would have seemed completely inconceivable. They're in atrocious form. Moyes has turned to a back 5 system. He's played Masiaku and Zabaleta as wing backs. He's even moved Cresswell into a left centre back sort of role. And they've got the powerful duo of Mikel Antonio and Marco Arnautovic, who can trouble teams going forward. And the Hammers are looking more confident at the back. And part of that is down to the formation change, but also Moyes has decided to stick with Adrian in goal, and I think he's a very good keeper. He's better than Joe Hart at the moment. I think the performances on the pitch are showing that. Like you've already mentioned Arnautovic, and I think it's worth briefly focusing on him when we're assessing this game. The Austrian scored the winner against Chelsea last Saturday, and he picked up the Man of the Match award against Arsenal on Wednesday. He returns to his former club this weekend, like you've already said. And I think it's difficult to see how he won't be fired up because, from what we see, he's quite a fiery character. And he's also received a fair bit of abuse, since his departure for his attitude and whatever. West Ham don't want to waste the points they achieved last week. They're still in the relegation zone and need to remain focused. They will be full of confidence. And I think things could get a bit nervy here for Stoke. I think West Ham do have the problems going the other way on the counter-attack that could cause some problems for Stoke. What about you, Jason? How do you think West Ham will fare away to Stoke?
I think West Ham have got a really good chance in this one. I think there'll be less pressure again on them because against obviously Chelsea and Arsenal, they weren't expected to get anything. But I think in this game as well, Stoke are the ones that will have to set the tempo. They'll have to go after West Ham because they're the ones that need the win. Obviously, West Ham are in the bottom 3, but they'll be buoyed after the last 2 games. And I think that Stoke are a team that if they concede the first goal, the fans will get on the players' backs, and it'll be a big problem for them. Hughes is not exactly speaking in high confidence. He's looking pretty worried about his job, and this could be a game that really could spell the end. It's a huge game. I think 5-2 West Ham with Betfair is a fantastic price. They're looking resilient at the moment, as you've said. They're hard to beat, and I'm not sure Stoke will break them down. And Arnautovic is obviously a very unpredictable player, but when he's on form, as he is at the moment, he's particularly dangerous. And I think Antonio also. So I just think West Ham, you've got to favour the team in form. I think 5-2 is a fantastic price. How do you see this game going?
Yeah, Stoke are available about 6-5, 11-10 mark, but I think that's far too short. The prices suggest that sort of after you factor in home advantage, and the teams are quite evenly matched. But I think, like you say, West Ham are in form at the minute. They're quite solid at the back. They've improved defensively. Moyes has had them organised. And the bet I like here is West Ham draw no bet. It's available about 6-4 with Paddy Power, and I think that's a solid bet. Obviously, we've got the draw on side if the game ends level. West Ham aren't conceding many goals. Stoke are struggling to score them too, and they're conceding. I can't see West Ham coming away with that result, to be honest. So my bet here is West Ham draw no bet at 6-4.